Last week we heard from Bill, who gave us the view of stewardship more from the church business point of view. Today, I would like to speak on the topic from a personal perspective. When I was a girl, and later a teenager, I saw how my parents gave faithfully and generously. There was no doubt that their giving came off the top and was not just what was left after the other expenditures had been made, as we heard about in Pastor's sermon last week. My father showed me how he prepared his offering each week. As soon as he brought home his paycheck, he placed his offering in the envelope. There were no second thoughts about giving to God. It became as automatic as breathing. I also watched my parents be faithful stewards of their time. When I was in Lutheran grade school, I remember going with my dad to the school on evenings and weekends, where he spent his time painting school classrooms for teachers. In those days, it was also popular to paint the classroom pianos, which he did frequently. We wouldn't do that today. This had nothing to do with his career in business, yet it was a service he knew he could perform. I know my parents gave of their time by participating in church choirs, and my mother played in the handbell choir. My father served in various roles and positions in the church. Until his passing, he could be seen here at Resurrection as an usher and counter. Until COVID began, my mother was a beloved member of the Friday Saints. In addition to giving at church, my parents gave generously to charities as well. So, as you can see, I had a firm foundation witnessing my parents as role models, giving of their time and their monetary blessings. For myself, as an adult, I grew to understand what tithing really means. It is what God asks of us in the Bible. 10% of our earnings are to go to God's work. And for those children who may be listening, boys and girls, that means if we get a job and we earn $10, God asks us that we save one of those dollars and give it for his work. Once I fully understood that, I was able to cheerfully give my tithe at church. It was a matter of working up to that goal, but it's never been a hardship. The amount changes dependent upon earnings, but that 10% does not change. God has also called us to help those in need, and so I give to a number of charitable organizations as well. When we talk about how we can give of our time to the Lord, the possibilities are endless. There are so many needs at the church and in the community. Jesus asks us to be his hands and feet. Giving of your time may lie in the area of your talents, but it doesn't have to be. I see many people in our church that give of their time by using talents with which God has blessed them. This is usually in the areas of music, leadership, financial expertise, facility maintenance, teaching, and technology. These members have taken their God-given talents and are using them in service. However, there are also many jobs or tasks that don't require much talent, just a willingness to give of our time to help or serve. This service is every bit as important as those jobs that do require specific talent. Giving of our time is our way of saying, God, you have given me so much. What can I give you in return? Take a look at your own interests and how you spend your time when you're not working. Is there a way you can turn that interest into service? I looked at my own life and I saw how I was interested in spending my free time and said, can I do less for Jesus? I realized that one of my interests involves spending a good deal of my free time gardening and working to make my home look beautiful by decorating it and keeping it clean and tidy. One day I realized that I should give that same amount of time and enthusiasm to God's house as well. Since that time, I've enjoyed working at God's house to help ensure that it is clean, tidy, and beautiful, That is just one example. You can think of many more. We each have our own interests and talents. When we all pull our talents and interests together, imagine what can happen. If we are willing, God will use us as his servants.